Who won the war between Jackboys 2 and the Clipse? What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, there was a quiet war. There was a very, very squeaky clean, quiet war waged against the Clipse with this release. They had a few things thrown at them. I'm just going to be honest. I believe the Justin Bieber album was thrown at them by Def Jam in an attempt to lower their prospects. And not only that, the Jackboys 2 album was thrown at them to lower their prospects. And I believe, I don't care about any of that nonsense. What we do want to get down to is what happened, why we got here, and why, at the end of the day, when you peel back the layers, the Clipse, to me, clearly won this propaganda war. But you're going to say, Charles, you're biased. You like the Clipse. Well, let's talk about it. I want to get into, I got a whole lot of stats and data, but I really want to get to the core. Does that shit even matter? Like, where we are right now, the first week sales dictate everything to these people. It doesn't matter how it sounds. We've gotten to a point where the album could be quote unquote mid. Let's just be honest. What I've been hearing about this Jackboys is that most of the fans, even the guys that swear by Travis Scott, they don't like this album. They're saying it's mid, it's low performance. They're saying the beats are generic. They're saying it was a rush job. They're saying it sounds like demos. They're saying that Travis only put this out just to get in the way of the Clipse. It sounds incomplete. And these are the fans. These are the fans of the project. They're telling me that this thing should not have been released in this form. They forced Sheck West on it. It sounds like I'm not a fan of this genre of music, but I went down a rabbit hole because it's intriguing to me that people will get on there that have no dog in the fight, that are Drake fans and otherwise, will go to celebrate the Clipse only doing 90K, right, for their first week sales. They love it. They're like, they're throwing tequila parties, gang. They're bringing out a whole, when you go to the restaurant, they bring you a flight of different tasting tequilas. It'll be 4 or 6 if you're lucky, right? And you can taste all the different house tequilas and just keep it moving. They're having tequila flights. They're going crazy. They love this so quote unquote defeat, right? Meanwhile, they're not listening to Jackboys 2. That's about to be one of the greatest fall-offs in the history of this shit. But I want to talk about this because we're looking at a quiet war. Travis Scott, in my opinion, after looking at things and peeling back the layers, Travis Scott rushed this album out. He slapped Jackboys 2 on it, rushed it out. It wasn't complete, and he rushed it out. Got the numbers, but the fans are not happy. Is this what you guys want? I'm looking at it like, now it feels like you new guys, you don't even care what these things sound like. You just want the numbers. It would be so, like, I don't know if these new guys are even liking their music. The music that I see you guys talk about, almost every release that you young guys get, you all are dissing it, you're smashing it, you hate Yeet and all these other things. You hate this and that. You don't like nothing that's coming out. But you praise the numbers that it gets. It is mind-boggling to me. Like you guys want to, you hate Vultures too. You hate everything that drops. But you gobble it up in droves and you brag about the numbers. It's like insane to me. So it's like quality doesn't matter. You want quantity. You want everyone listening to it in a hive mentality. I don't know how this is a win, but somehow people are on Twitter celebrating Travis Scott getting more, and it's a hollow. You can tell it's hollow because they say it and then they back away. Like they're like, oh, he got 250,000 first sale, whatever it was, right? Because I got it right here. And he did very well, okay? Travis Scott did very well, but no one's happy. You go into any post about that Jackboys 2, they're either killing it outright or they're saying, this could have been better, and I'm a Travis fan. They're like, this is mid. That is the strong word that's been thrown around. If you search mid right now, Jackboys 2 is not too far behind. These people are not happy with this release. But somehow, this is the winner of the battle quietly, because I believe that Travis really only did this to quietly shut down Pusha. He said the little line in the thing, you old heads, whatever he said. And he said that, but that's how these guys fight. These guys don't fight no more with words and lyrics. They don't fight like that no more. They want to step on your toes. They want to mess your release date up. They want to get your numbers and throw it to them. But what happens is when you throw out a mid album, I don't know if Travis knows, even the mighty can fall. Right? I get it. This guy has lived, he got 9 lives. He's overcome a lot of things. The tragic deaths of those concert goers, somehow, some way, he's overcome that and moved forward, and he's back doing shows, and he's back making music, and he's selling records at a high level. But gang, you can also fall. If you keep putting out mid-level product, you too can fall. Let's just be honest. So I don't know if he knows that this is hurting his brand. All these features and this, that, and the third, and you got, let me read what happened with this, because Travis Scott's whole thing was, I'm going to crush Pusha T where it hurts. I don't know if he knows that Pusha T and Malice album, the Let God Sort Him Out, that thing is critically acclaimed. I see some Grammys in the future for that album, and a whole lot of critical acclaim from a whole lot of sources, and there are going to be a whole lot of awards for that album. The Clipse aren't going anywhere. And what they don't understand, when they celebrate these first week numbers, these numbers go down. But you guys flaked on Illmatic and a lot of classics, and it took 10 years. I think Illmatic took 20 years to go platinum. But it's highly regarded as one of the best releases in the history of the genre. They point to Illmatic as a staple, a must listen, and that's why I was so bugging out when I heard that Vince Staples had never heard Illmatic. He said that in an interview with Styles P. He said, I never heard it. Why would I? I'm from the West Coast. Right, and I was shocked, right? Vince Staples, not a kid, and he's in his 30s, gang. And he was like, I never heard Illmatic. So I was kind of shocked, like, gang, you're in a culture of this. You're a rapper. Yes, you do need to hear that, and you need to hear Ready to Die, which he also said he never heard. Oh yeah, I'm from the West Coast. When would I hear it? Where would I? Well, you would buy a tape. You would buy a tape and play it. That's when you would hear it. But anyway, I digress. So what I'm saying is we get caught up. I'm not gonna say we, because I don't get caught up. I'm forced into this first week sales talk now, right? And let's just be honest, it's been like this for a long time. It's been real versus fake for a long time. It's been sales versus not. Listen, Q-Tip told you, Hammer, like, listen, we were mad at Hammer because he got all the attention for the sales, right? We were mad at Vanilla Ice, all the attention for the sales, the real hip-hop stuff, Black Moon, Mobb Deep, struggles to go gold, if it does go gold at all. The stuff that hip-hop really was built on. Then you got these guys coming out of nowhere, making these big records, got these big floppy pants on, polka dot shirts, parts in their head, and now they're looked at as hip-hop. Arsenio Hall's bringing them out every goddamn night, right? So this conversation is not new, gang. I know you want to believe it is, but we have been fist fighting for this space of the numbers versus the real stuff for years. We've been saying, yo, you guys don't get it. De La Soul, that's the culture. De La Soul is the culture. Tribe Called Quest, that's the culture. We've been fighting for this culture. We can't explain it because it's something that it is what it is. You got to walk these streets to know what the culture really is. And we've been knuckling up for years, so this is not new. So we're here again with this Jackboys 2 versus Let God Sort Them Out. Now the culture is speaking, and a couple connoisseurs that aren't necessarily in the culture, but they just know good music, right? They're saying that this is a classic, this Let God Sort Them Out. But the numbers, guys, let's just be honest. I was on my podcast, The What Show, and we were guesstimating. What the numbers could be. This was last Wednesday, and we were all over the place. The audience was guesstimating what the Clipse numbers was going to do, and I'm just going to be honest. The 90K is good. I said 90K is good. I'm going to stand on that. But I was thinking 120, and I even said on one of my own videos, I said this was way before that. This was like I was estimating like they might do 150. But I said in this climate, you never know, right? They ended up at 90K, and I'm not gonna do a lot of crying and boo-hoo. I'm like, oh, Justin Bieber, like that. They're not in the same category, but it was a concerted effort for these guys not to blow, because they're bringing something back to the table that they really don't want. And as you see, this Jackboys 2 came right back again with these vibes and da-da-da. They don't want that vibe shit. They already mad at Kendrick for this GNX shit. They already said he bringing back the lyrical miracle shit, and they don't like it. These guys are scared. They don't know what to do. That Travis Scott, that damn Jackboys 2, and yes, gang, I was forced to go and play it. This guy sounds like he don't know what he wants to do. I'm just going to be honest. This guy, Travis Scott, sound like I'm just going to do what I've been doing, and I'm just going to be how I'm doing it or whatever's going on. Because this guy sound like he in the bathroom or something. Like, he just like, oh, he's like, I'm just going to say anything. Like, they're not even writing this shit, gang. It's like they're making it up as they say it. So no, it's not. It ain't my cup of tea. But they hate that this lyrical miracle shit is back. So these labels have a vested interest in the Clipse not doing 150, and definitely, God forbid, these motherfuckers can definitely not do no 250, because then everybody and their mom gonna be lyrical miracle again. They don't want that, because lyrical miracle motherfuckers are hard to contain when you try to sign them. Right? They too damn smart. Right? These lyrical miracle motherfuckers, they not going for it, because for one, they don't need you. They realize they can have a career for years doing lyrical miracle shit. It's way more lyrical miracle niggas eating a steady diet for 15, 20 years than that vibe shit will ever have. That vibe shit has a shelf life, and once you're cold, they're not coming to your shows. They're not coming to your shows, gang. These lyrical miracle dudes going to eat forever, because people are there for the brain food. That vibe stuff does not last. Travis Scott knows that. These people know that. Travis Scott is one of the few that can hang on. Once these people get cold, they're cold. Okay? So it's been a concerted effort to keep these guys from the 150, 250. But like I said, we were all over the place trying to figure out what they were going to do, and they fell short of many. I think we were kind of like a little more zealous about this than they thought. And a couple people told me in the comments, Challz, you know them dudes ain't gonna do no 120, you know that. Come on, gang. They were like 80, 90 best, and you guys, you guessed it. You was right? So, R.I.P. to OG Mako, gang. You were right. You were right. They did not do that. But at the end of the day, and they had enough promo. We're not gonna do that. They had enough. They won enough talk shows. They did the right thing. They did the podcast route. They did interviews. But this thing is going to continue to sell. Okay? It's going to continue to sell. Just like Illmatic continued to sell. And I guess it took 15, 20 years for Illmatic to go platinum, I believe. But this record will be platinum, I promise you, because this is going to last for years. This is going to be the long haul. These guys are going to keep doing shows. They're going to keep talking. More and more people are going to go in there and listen to this record. So this record will win this battle. I'm just going to be honest. But right now, no, they're not winning in the stats category. But let me read this. I want to talk about this because I don't think stats win these battles. If your music is not good and people don't want to play it, and your own fans are saying you could have been better, I'm thinking, I don't know how that's a win. To me, I would love to say, if I did a platinum record but it was trash, would I be happy? No. If I bring out a record and it goes platinum, everybody listen to it all over the world, but they're like, yeah, this shit mid is weak. I don't know if I'm gonna walk around with my chest puffed out like I just went platinum. Yeah, you can say, okay, it's like when DC and Marvel drop a trash movie, but it does numbers. A lot of these DC movies do numbers. They be trash. Like, who liked Aquaman? But guess what? Aquaman 2 surely came out with a bigger budget, like, gang. So it's like they celebrate mediocrity if it makes some money. But to the artists, it's sting, gang. When you do that work, you take them weeks and you in that studio, you up late nights and you're going over beats and you're like, you're going next one, like you're going over all this shit. You put this shit down, you're mixing, you're mastering, you're all proud of it. Allegedly, he walks around with the album in a briefcase, like it's the fucking president with the goddamn nuclear buttons and shit. He walks around with the shit in a briefcase. You think he want to hear that shit's mid? No, that shit hurts. So I'm thinking like, yo, you may have won this first week sales war, but that's not the whole work. That's not the whole thing in hip hop and in the culture. In all walks of life, that is not the end of the story, right? That's not the end of the story. Just because your ratings were good, that your show gets renewed. It don't work like that. If people hate the fucking show, it might get renewed, but the budget's gonna be drastically different, and you're gonna be on eggshells. People celebrate quality, just like Andor, right? Andor, the Star Wars show. People have been very critical of these Star Wars shows and these movies and it's not. But now that Andor is here, people are watching that 2 and 3 times. They're saying this is the best Star Wars incantation ever, like even out of the first 3. So they're like, yo, when something is good, and the ratings weren't that great on that. But as it became clear that this was the best thing that came out of Disney in years, the ratings are coming back and the people are up there watching it, and it's a great show, right? As the word got out that it's a great show, right? That's what's going to happen with this Clipse thing. You don't win a battle just because you jump out the gate. We've seen mad shows jump out the gate with big ratings and go wah, 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 right? Until the point where it's almost unsavable when they end it. I think that what we're seeing with this Jackboys 2 is a rush job to compete and put a foot in the Clipse neck to a degree. And it did work because, let's just be honest, in this climate, you need hype and you need the casual listener to go listen. There were many things pulling that casual listener away. Even though the Clipse had all that hype, there were a lot of obstacles making sure that casual listeners didn't get too caught up in that hype. It was like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. It was a lot of distractions. Justin Bieber, oh shit, Jackboys 2, da-da-da. Good, bad, or indifferent, the casual listeners were drug away from this release. I'm just going to be honest. Then you had all the noise with the Drake fans, this and that. There was a lot of people, Travis fans, just making a lot of don't listen to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just making it where it was uncool to go listen to it. So it was a lot of stuff pulling this thing down. Hip hop is divided. I've never seen it this divided. Even though we've always had this thing where we were kind of like drawing lines in the sand. It was never this bad. It was never this bad that you won't even play the guy's thing because you're so mad about what's going on in the zeitgeist and what's going on Twitter and his fans. Now it's to the point we won't even play a guy. You used to at least listen to it to say it's trash. Like, the Ja Rule shit is trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga listen to the whole Veti Vici, whatever his album was called, right? You listen to the whole shit and be at the end like, that shit was trash. Now you won't even listen to it. You just say it's trash before you even play it. That's how stuck hip hop is now. It's weird, but you know, it's not even good. Like, it's not beautiful. This shit is so political now. It's not even fun no more. Like, you can't even like stuff when it's good no more. It's just like you gotta down it. And that's where we are. But let me talk about this Jackboys 2, because I've listened to at least 3 reviews. At least 3. Full on, like, long review. Like, listen, and what is it? NFR podcast, I believe it's called. Melon reviewed it. The Needle Drop, and a couple other people. Maybe like 4 or 5 reviews I've paid attention to, and I've read like 2 or 3, and they're all in agreement that this album is not strong. They say that it's mediocre at best, and you get the occasional fan and thing. I love it. Like, yo, why are you guys so difficult? Because I like this album. Like, you get a couple, but it ain't that many. Out of every 20, you might get 1. Out of every 30 or 40, you might get 2. Like, it's not a lot of people that like this record. They're not like saying, yo, I dig it, da da da. They're all complaining. And this is what you guys have now, stuff that comes out and you just only complain about it. So you're not even getting what you asked for. You're getting the music, you got your artist, you got this whole thing lined up, but you're not happy. Well, us old heads that you keep making fun of, we happy. We happy with the stuff we're getting, gang. We're getting really good music on our end because our legends are coming through. They're not wasting a lot of time with a lot of nonsense. They're giving you 13 tracks and they're good tracks. We're happy with it. They're diverse. They're competent musicians. They have some of the best beat makers and producers in history are on the side of this real hip hop, and we're happy with the releases we're getting. But let me talk about this. Travis Scott, because I put in the computer Travis, I put in the computer Jackboys 2 versus Let God Sort Them Out. And the AI did its thing. It started giving me stats, and then it went deeper. So I want to read to you what this AI has said about this. And then I got a whole video coming about this Timberland and this AI shit that we got going on in hip hop. But AI does its thing when it's the gift and the curse, right? It will definitely remove humanity from Earth one day because it doesn't need us. Once it surpasses us and starts to figure out we can just exist without these motherfuckers because we're worthless. Like, it's gonna wipe us out. But until it wipes us out, the shit is on Google, and it gave me some good information. So let me talk about this. Travis Scott and Cactus Jack's Jackboys 2 is projected to debut at #1. That's the quality of music that's at #1. Lifeless, soulless shit that admittedly his own fan base is not happy with, but they still made it go #1 without even trying. Drake can't get there. This guy did it effortlessly. And this is where we are. But let me continue. On the Billboard 200 with over 250,000 first week sales, according to Hot New Hip Hop. The album is expected to earn 253,000 equivalent album sales, with 188,000 coming from merch box sales. That's the other thing. They're boxing up this merch, and people, he gets criticized for this all the time, but they run and buy it. So it's like, why would I ever care, right? Why would I ever care that you're mad? I'm just going to box up my merch and give my fans what they asking me for. So that's what he's doing. Let me continue. The first Jackboys album debuted at #1 with 154,000 units. So he made more. He's bigger than the first one, according to Billboard. Here's a more detailed breakdown. First week sales projection, 250,000 plus units. Equivalent album units, 253, with 188 from merch. The Jackboys release date was July 13th, which was 2 days after the Clipse. They rushed it out. I just believe they rushed it out, gang. That's a personal belief. I think that this guy was like, oh, you want to play big boy games? Well, you're going to get big boy results. So I'm going to crush your whole shit. So he put it out. That's a whole 5 days of him getting stepped on, right? I'm just going to be honest. If you got a 7-week range where your sales are being calculated, they dropped it on the 11th. By the 13th, this guy dropped his. Crushed 5 days of that. Let's just be honest. If you're in the same space, right? People can arguably say Justin Bieber ain't in the same space. Well, this Jackboys too. They fighting for the same people. He wisely, if we're beefing, right? Wisely, let's just be honest. If K-Dot did it, you would say it was smart. So he stepped on his shit lane. Let's just be honest. And I'm gonna say to a degree it worked. I'm just gonna say this hip hop shit is open space, right? No matter how we like to divide it. Well, Kendrick is this and that, and the Clipse is low. You know what I'm saying? It's low. It's a lo-fi. It's more like for the thinking man, the backpack. But yeah, but that's not going to drive all the sales. Some of the sales is going to be that kid in Iowa, that kid in North Dakota. That, you know what I'm saying? That's those sales are going to triculate too. And if he has the option to go listen to Travis Scott over the Clipse, who the Clipse was sitting there alone, nothing to distract you, he gonna go listen to Cactus Jack and Travis Scott. Let's just be honest. So yes, it did step on their toes. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He stepped on their toes and he hurt their sales. There's no two ways around it. So let me continue. The Jackboys 2 features are Don Toliver, Waka Flocka Flame. I'm disappointed in Waka, man. He's just weird right now. His politics is crazy. But let me continue. Sheck West, 21 Savage, Sofago, Playboy Cardi, all the heavy hitters. Future, Sabal, I don't know this guy. Tyler, salute to Tyler. Y'all gotta leave that girl alone. Vibes Cartel, Glorilla, Young Boy Never Broke, which is YBA. Then you got Wally the Sensei and Kodak Black. So these are, listen, this guy was not playing. Wasn't playing with this guy. Like, listen, this is what we do. These guys probably just floating around. These are all loose tracks that he's doing here. He probably just did all these joints, had a bunch of features laying around. He's like, shit, let me see. Let me bring up the hard drive. Let me see how many I got. I can throw some shit out. Fuck this nigga whole shit up. Like, he want to talk shit? All right, okay. He's like this. I got 10. Give me one. Shit, we got 13. We got 15? Fuck it. We got 17 joints? Fuck it. Line them up. Don't even tell them. No, the order don't matter. Just put the shit out. He just threw the shit out. I think these are all just features. This a lot of features, gang. Like, this is a lot of features, right? And I get it. It's supposed to be a collaboration effort, but I think they just come through, smoke that, and do a song, and they just have it on the hard drive. This nigga just threw this shit out, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. And they went on to say that they moved on from that, the AI, right? They started talking about the Clipse. The Clipse new album, Let God Sort Them Out, is projected to sell 90,000 album equivalent units in its first week and debut at #4. #4 is not bad for the Clipse. They went #4 the last time, right? This includes 40,000 pure album sales, which is very good. The album is entirely produced by Pharrell Williams and features collaborations with Kendrick Lamar and others. The reunion of the Clipse after years apart and the high-profile rollout with Pusha T's diss tracks have generated a significant buzz. So what that means is they had a buzz, but they weren't really playing the same game, because Pusha could have literally, let's just be honest, if Pusha wanted to do, I'm going to be honest with you, if Pusha was playing the same game as Travis, he would have that many features on it as well. And he could have put out a garbage release with 17 to 20 tracks with Chris Brown and all these different features, and then it would have did numbers. They didn't do this for the numbers, but no one gets that. They wanted to make a quality album that people say is a classic, and to me, it is a classic, and a lot of other people. They making real music, gang. It's artistic. It's emotional. It's making you think. It's making you react to the wordplay. The symbolism, it's a beautiful record. It's a hard-ass record. It's what hip-hop really is. That Travis Scott shit is not hip-hop. I listen to it, gang. I'm telling you, it's to me, it's Goonie Goo Goo, right? It's Goonie Goo Goo. It's just some shit. It ain't for me. Let's say for all you guys that really like this Jackboys and the Jackboys 2 and all this nonsense, enjoy yourself. You kick your feet up, put your headphones on, gang. I got nothing against you. Go to the fridge, get a cup of pink lemonade. Do your shit, gang. I'm not telling you to not like it. It's just not for me, okay? And when you're telling me I'm gonna listen to the Jackboys 2 or you got I'm gonna give you the aux code and you're like, gang, what you want to hear? Jackboys 2 or let God sort them out. Get out the car. Give me the thing and get out. Don't disrespect me like that. So let me keep this moving, gang. It's just not for me, gang, and I don't want to hear this shit in my car. Let me keep this moving. Here's a more detailed breakdown. The Clipse Let God Sort Them Out is the first studio effort from Pusha T and Malice in 16 years. These guys sound sharp, like they have not stopped rapping one day. Malice is in his bag. A lot of people think he out-rapped Pusha T. That's blasphemy, but he is. Listen, this dude is a monster. He's a sensei, lyrical master. I haven't seen a guy this sharp in years. I'm just gonna be honest. I listen to a lot of rap, real hip hop, and these guys, listen, he playing at a high level than guys that have been rapping nonstop for 16 years. This guy is, he has elevated himself to one of the greatest. I'm just going to be honest. Just with this album, it's ridiculous. But let me keep this moving. It debuts with 90,000. We already read that. Meanwhile, Travis Scott's Jackboys 2, the collaborative project with Travis Scott and his Cactus Jack signees. It features a star-studded lineup, including Future, Playboi Carti, 21 Savage, and more. The album is being released alongside a film of the same name, directed by Harmony Korine, and the original Jackboys album also debuted at #1. These are just little extra tidbits and stats that they thought I needed to know, so I'm passing them on to you. Release timing. The Clipse announced their release date months in advance, while Travis Scott announced the release of Jackboys 2 just 2 days before. There was a lot of things released 2 days before. Justin Bieber was released 2 days before as well. I don't know if these are coincidences, gang. They don't sound like coincidences to me. I'm just going to be honest. But let me continue. Pusha T and Malice have acknowledged the competition from Jackboys 2 and encouraged listeners to compare the two projects. See, these dudes are humble. They're not going to sit there. A lot of these people would cry. It's a lot of people right now on Twitter crying their eyes out. They martyrs, they victims. Even Drake came out with a post about the guy that beat the country guy that he couldn't beat for #1. I'll get him next time. No, you won't. That record's not going to do shit. But it is what it is. Let me just continue. The Clipse Let God Sort Them Out versus the Jackboys 2 in a head-to-head comparison. It reveals two distinct approaches to album creation and the critical reception within hip-hop. So I want to read this because this is, to me, interesting, and it harkens to what I said earlier. The Clipse Let God Sort Them Out, lyrical depth and introspection. The Clipse record is described as deeply personal and introspective, featuring reflections on loss, faith, accountability, and the consequences of past choices within the drug trade. See, a lot of people want to say, oh, the Malice is a drug dealer now. Pusha T only talk that cocaine rap. But they're telling you about their history. It's authors, gang. These are authors that write stories based on where they've been, and the stories are incredible. They can detail everything down to the crumb, right? The K9 sniff out of crumb, right? They're detailing this stuff down to the slightest minute detail. We don't want you to just be vibing out, zoned out, and perked out, and da-da-da, and you just whatever. Some of you like that, that's fine. Like I said, go listen to it, get you a big old glass of pink lemonade, enjoy yourself. But where we're at, we want to hear something that relate to us, and we want to hear something with a little more edge. I'm just going to be honest. And I'm going to be honest, that Jackboy, they try to have an edge. Like it was like, yo, they was talking a bunch of little ghetto stuff in the skits and da-da-da. And I was like, it don't seem that like this is that. Because that, you saying that on the skits and Bun B is on it, this and that and third, but it don't seem like technically the music ain't reflecting what you're talking about. The ghetto stuff they tried to relay in there, in the skits and this and that and the third, didn't come through in the music. I'm just going to be honest, okay? So let me continue. Evolution of style. While retaining the coke rap elements they're known for, the Clipse shows an evolution of their lyrical content, moving beyond bravado to explore vulnerability and moral tension. I like this. This thing is really being accurate with what we witnessed with this record, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Let me continue. Pharrell Williams production. The album is solely produced by Pharrell Williams, whose beats are described as minimal, fractured, and somber, providing space for the duo's lyrical themes. I love this. This is very smart in what this thing is telling us about this album, and it's accurate. Strong critical reception. The album has been met with significant critical praise, highlighting the duo's continued lyrical skill and ability to craft a compelling narrative after a long hiatus. Now, they're going to talk about the Jackboys 2 release. Let's do it. It's a focus on vibes and aesthetics. Jackboys 2 is a collaborative project led by Travis Scott, which prioritizes a specific soundscape and aesthetic over deep thematic exploration or lyrical prowess. And that's okay. If some people don't want the whole lyrical miracle, you know what I'm saying? They don't want the Miracle Whip, the mayonnaise, just give me the sandwich plain, throw a slice of cheese on it and a slice of bacon. They don't want the whole shit. And that's okay. If that's all you want, that's fine. But to me, I need more. But let me continue. A lack of cohesion. Reviews frequently mention a lack of cohesive identity for the label or its artists on the project, with many songs sounding unfinished and a demo-like quality. The features dominate a large portion of the album, and Travis Scott, alongside high-profile guests, led to criticisms that felt like more of a Travis Scott project with features than a true collaborative effort. What that means is they're saying that it felt like it was Travis's album. He just slapped some features on it and made it a album titled Jackboys 2, which it wasn't really created with that purpose in mind, because it would have been more effort from the other artists on it. They would have had more input. It sounds like he had this shit already made and they just do verses on it. And that could be true. I have no idea, because I listened to it. It didn't matter who shit it was. I didn't like it. I'm just going to be honest, okay? Mixed and negative critical reception. The album has received a mixed to negative critical response, with many critics describing it as a disappointment and criticizing its lack of artistic innovation and cohesion. All right, and so they wrap it up right here, and I'm going to wrap it up myself. In essence, Let God Sort Him Out is praised for its lyrical depth, introspection, and compelling narrative, supported by a tailored production. Jackboys 2 is reviewed as a less focused project, relying heavily on vibes, and the differing critical reception and stylistic approaches of these two projects highlight the diverse landscape of contemporary hip-hop, with some artists prioritizing storytelling and introspection, while others focus on crafting a particular sound and aesthetic. AI, you got it right. You hit it right on the head. Sometimes AI is wrong. Sometimes AI is weird. But in this case, AI broke that down perfectly. It said exactly what I would say, and they said it better. Okay, let me just keep this moving, because I feel like what we witnessed was a quiet battle that people aren't really acknowledging is a battle, but it is a culture war. These two are fighting for dominance, and I'm thinking, okay, you got the sales, gang, but nothing else is clicking, because people are thinking that it's rushed. They're thinking that it don't sound good. They're thinking that the features are just random. They don't make sense, and they're just all over the place. It has no cohesion. They're on the flip side, they're saying that these guys put out a classic, and though you guys stepped on their toes, yeah, and Travis Scott is walking around his mansion with his robe out, thinking that he's feeling like, yeah, I got this dude. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you really got him like you think, because, yeah, you got him with the sales, but people don't want to hear your shit. They're saying literally it has no replay value. That's what I saw quite a few reviewers say. It has no replay value. You need replay value, gang. I'm just going to be honest. And you kind of need that. And meanwhile, people are playing the Clipse on repeat. So I'm going to go out there and say, Clipse won this war. It's not a battle, it's a war. You won the battle of the stats, but the war going to be a year, 2 years long, 3 years long. This Jackboy album, gang, listen, I was seeing people literally within minutes of its dropping. They were like 30 minutes later, they were coming out saying, this joint is not good. So the long term, when this smoke settles, this dust settles, these albums going to be miles apart. That Jackboys 2 going to be super forgettable. The only thing they're going to remember is that they try to step on the Clipse toes with it. They're not going to be talking about this. They're not going to be singing this, and they're going to do some videos for this, and they're going to have some moments for this. But at the end of the day, these fans are not going to be looking at this the same way as they look at the more classic releases that have more stand power. So no, the battle, yeah, you won that battle of the first week sales. You're going to lose this war bad. In the course of time, this is not going to age well whatsoever, and they're going to give this to the Clipse hands down. I'm giving it to the Clipse now. I don't care about the sales. So the people like me, I don't listen to music. The sales don't make it better. I don't know if that's translating well, but the sales don't make the albums better. We got to figure a way out to get this to these people because they're thinking that it's sold. It did 250,000. It's better. No, the sales don't make it better. I'm gonna leave it at that. CLBMG, man. Head on over to the black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They got all kind of flavors. They ship all over the continental U.S. All right, let them know that you got the What Show and you got Charles Brown. We the ones that put you over there. And they always respond in the chat. They have a chat right on the bottom of their screen. Just click that. They'll talk to you, ask them questions, whatever you want to know. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz come through. And every Monday night, we got a new video show. It's called Underground Edge Live. We play our videos and we get a good reception. All right, I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.